Let's go for the actual score. Europa Natural Law.
Greetings, humanity, and welcome to Europa Natural Law, a roundtable transmission dedicated to healing the madness, badness, and sadness plaguing our beautiful, bountiful world. Through regaining our sanity, reclaiming our inborn sovereignty, and honoring our inherent responsibility, we can improve reality. I'm Nemo Jones, reporting for Beauty, from Devonshire, Albion, where I write, speak, and sing for freedom, reason, and beauty. You can find all my links at nemojones.com. So the subject today is Agape Love, which we're going to talk about shortly. And but first, let's just introduce. We've got other people trying to get into the show. We've had all kinds of technical issues backstage. But the subject is Agape Love. This is our Valentine's edition, basically, but we thought we'd twist it up. So twist it up. We're going to twist it up. Right. So Derek, over to you just for a little intro.
To mix it up and twist it up or do little mashups of majestic music and those types of things. And there's a lot of love that fuels my passion for these marvelous manifestations and all that. And I got my Dissolving the Divide podcast. And yeah, we really try to stick to eternal principles and having that, eternal love based on eternal axioms of truth be the foundation. And it's a great place to work from and rise from, like, what up, Valentine folks? Little Valentino. We're going to be talking about a level of love that's higher than Eros and even Philos, but we do love that Philosophia, Mona Mia, and Theo Lukes. What's cracking? You like to love forever over there, right? With your channel, you making music, and we got our nattylaw.com.
Yeah, man. Yeah, not love forever, like with the whole marriage thing. Like I know many marriage posters like love forever. It's like, yeah, I'm more like talking about that agape. Yeah, it's more like that universal. Yeah, like the love of creation. The whole idea that creation itself is love. Like life comes from love, and love is life, and life is also forever. In a sense, it's like life lives. In a way, it's like that's what life is. It's always living. There's no death for life. It's kind of like, yeah, it's the lyrics from a hip hop song I like. It's like life lives, death dies. That's the infinite. So that was like some of the inspiration I got, and yeah, I'm hoping to inspire some of the viewers of this show today. I know it's been a while since I've been on the show, but I thought for the occasion I'll show up, even though it's very late for me here.
Cool. Thanks. So yes, Agape Love. Derek, do you want to lead off with Theo's already started in there, but let's go. Let's get into the topic.
Right, sure. So
let's do this.
Agape, it's a Greek word. It's one of their ways that they have like at least half a dozen different terms for degrees and states of love, actually, and kind of like the three main ones people are familiar with, kind of mentioned them briefly. Eros, that's like the more romantic love, right? Think about Cupid and its arrows, right? And then there's, Philos with it, which is more like fraternité. You kind of get that derivative from, to a degree, brotherly love, sisterly love, and just kind of love for like knowledge, like philosophy, right? And yeah, there's kind of things that people need to. Well, I'm not even going to get into, pedophilia and all that shit, but the word philos is in there, and yeah. So, anyways, but when folks are really aligned to the divine and have activated their heart core chakra, it's activating that agape love, that cosmic love. And I've been very wary on using the term unconditional love, because for there to be love, there has to be certain conditions, I believe. And you got Theo on the screen still, but so I mean, imagine just, you know, what kind of love can be cultivated in a prison cell of child trafficking, underground type of shit. You know what I mean? Things to consider. But yeah, to get the mind out of the shitter, flipping the script on, Jared, he had a comment earlier of just like the apotheosis of love is something, you know, not fear. Really, it's the kind of the opposite of fear. A lot of people like to use, you know, hate as the opposite of love, but that's not true. It's actually fear, and that is explained and expressed quite well in Mark Passio's Natural Law seminar. In some of his slides, he has, you know, a really great sequence where he breaks down, you know, the expressions of natural law based off of love, which, you know, is gonna result in order, balance, and harmony. And think of, you know, mayat, right? Keeping your heart as light as a feather. Or if you're in that fear state, it's gonna lead to chaos type of thing, you know? And you have to take it always to the first cosmic law principle and then ripple it out to the macrocosm via law correspondence type of shit, you know? So how are individuals within the collective functioning within their mind state? Are they in a state of fear, emotion-based mind control, or other things like that? Or have they deprogrammed themselves and alchemized that and activated the proper love for themselves, for life, for creation, and all these things? And also, that type of love is, it will compel people in the face of all the evil bullshit. And it's something that we do not fucking tolerate. The highest good doesn't tolerate the evil. All right, just state the fuck up. And that is, you know, really embodying that masculine of, you know, self-defense and protection, of what is right, what is sacred, what is beautiful out there, you know? So, you know, you can even take that to just, you know, well, weak men create hard times, and, you know, strong men create, you know, good times, or whatever type of thing. Things to consider with that. And I feel like that proper love and balance from the feminine creates and maintains strong men as well. So things to consider, ladies. But yeah, so we have to take it to the generative principle with these things. Cosmic care, if you will. And that is one of those eternal hermetic principles. Passio has considered it the lost principle, because people have been lost or led astray, conditioned to not care about what really fucking matters, and put their time and attention towards what, and focus to what really properly matters, so we can be in that proper state of more sovereignty, so that proper love can be cultivated and flourish, and all these things. So things to consider. And yeah, the heart, going back to mentalism real quick, and then I'll pass it off. You know, going down the Hermetica, the mind has to be aligned with the heart, and just, yeah, with the whole, you know, triune of consciousness expression, you know, thoughts, emotions, and actions. Those need to be congruent and not contradict each other for individuals to be operating properly in this world. And so, yeah, once again, if the aggregate microcosmic individual level is augmented, then, you know, it's going to have that effect in the macrocosm. So that's what we're trying to inspire in this show, I believe. So yeah, love is love, right?
Yeah, I like this comment from Jared, and the chat's kicking off. If you're watching on YouTube, I mean YouTube, it's kind of it's great. So hi everyone. But I like this. So, but some people won't understand this. So I'm just gonna break it down because these are not familiar concepts. So, SDP. These are two fundamental realities, really, of life. I would
Can't
say.
see it,
You
no.
know, is one way of thinking of it. Say again.
I said I can't see you, brother man.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah, no worries. It happened to me
Yeah.
all. You know, I've
So
done that plenty of times in the past. So
I've got
yeah.
I've got to say I've got to like just do a little. You know, I'm very tired. So trying to do all this is yeah, it's a bit sketchy technically, but you know we'll get through it. It's fine.
Yeah,
So
you're all
that's
good.
that. But yes. Oh, sorry. I'm just going to get back to that comment if I can find it. Oh no, I can't find it now. There's too many comments. Oh no. Anyway, it's about self-defense principle and the non-aggression principle. So these are like things that they're not in the culture generally. They're not popular sort of, you know, things that people hear of. Like I'm guessing that like a large majority of people, they would look at that and just go, what's SDP? What's NAP? So that's why I wanted to sort of just pause on it and just because it obviously, as Jared was saying, even though I can't find his comment now, he was saying that something about, you know, that's a fundamental, it's different aspects of it, which I think is a really great point. It's like, so the self-defense principle is born out of, let's say you could say self-respect, self-love, which is not love of the ego. It's completely not that. It's like, you know, I found like this is a little bit of a sort of aside, but I found that true self-love is almost like loving the things that your ego doesn't love about yourself. That's one way of saying where it's just like, oh, I just love.
Nice.
Do you know what I mean? It's like, oh, I just love.
Mm.
Like love's just so free. It's like, it's always there. It's like, you know. Anyway, so that's as in agape love, which we, you know, it's like the highest form of love. I kind of said when we were chatting in the week, it's like it's the love which all other love is kind of born from. You know, without agape love, you can't really have like erotic love because, like, who cares? Sorry, or eros, you know, because who cares, kind of thing. I've lost my place in the chat, so I'll have to come back to that. But sorry that people won't. Okay, I won't become like a streamer that's just talking to the chat. I always kind of find that a bit strange. Okay, so what I was saying was the self-defense principle, yes, and then the non-aggression principle is also born out of respect and universal love. You know, why would I hurt someone who is of the same matter as me? You know, and what matters. This is I've touched on this before in the show, but it's just so brilliant. This, you know, what matters, what is created, what becomes matter. You know, that's all related to this subject of what love is. You know, and it's not to say that everything that matters is born of love, but you could argue that love is like is the ultimate force that drives evolution and creation, and fear is what it is, like the darkness that it's kind of building, that it's evolving into. That, I don't know, it's, you know, it's a bit
Or devolving into.
metaphysical. Well, it's like life and love evolves into the space, and then but there's always this kind of entropic counterpoint, you know. So and so it's hard to say, well, everything that matters isn't born of love. It's like, I think it is in essence, but there's a syntropic force as well. Is that the right term?
So in a sense, fear is also born out of love, even though it's the opposite.
Possibly. Maybe you're onto something. I'm gonna hand it over anyway. I'm just trying to catch up on these chats while someone else steps in.
Yeah, I can go. Just switch the screen to me, and yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, so yeah, I feel like I was getting to somewhere there. It's like, yeah, is fear, which many of us consider fear is the opposite of love, which some people think hate is the opposite of love. But I think once you kind of ponder on those thoughts a bit of like what is love, what is hate, what is fear, it's more like hate is another side of a coin of love, but fear is a true opposite of love, because yeah, love is like an expansive force. It's like an expansion. It's like connection. It's creativity. It's all of those things. And fear is kind of like it's like distraction. It's like it's like going inside. It's like shrinking, right? It's kind of like, oh, I don't want to be in that. I don't want to feel that. I don't want to do that. Where love is like, I want more of that. Like, give me more. I want to do more of that. So it's like, yeah, is fear. So if agape love is like the force of creation itself, it's behind everything. Is fear also born out of it? And if so, why? It's like, what is the purpose of fear? And that's kind of like, pondering duality and all of those things. And it's like, I feel like a great way to look at it is all for our learning. It's all for our souls to learn. It's like, I like to say this universe is like a university, right? It's like we're coming here as souls, as spirit, to this density of matter, of the 3D, to like have those experiences where we learn from like duality, where we learn from darkness, where we learn from evil. Like if there wasn't evil and darkness, none of us will be here talking about like ending evil and all those stuff. And right, like shout out to Chris Jansen, who's been on the show as well. And so we are here because we care and we have this agape love, right? I'm pretty sure we all do. Deep in our hearts, we have the true care, which we talked about before. I believe I was on that show. So it's kind of about maintaining that and expanding with it, right? That's what it's about, and not succumbing to fear and all of those things.
Hey, yeah. So it's, some of what Drea has been saying, it's been interesting. The chat. Drea was trying to join us for the show and couldn't because of technical issues. So she's in the chat talking about saying agape is what gives the courage to stand up to what is wrong.
Right.
And that's kind of amazing. I mean, I think what you were saying, Theo, is like there's something so interesting for me in that kind of the love fear thing, because it's like this kind of not, it's like it's almost that nihilists aren't actually wrong. It's like I could say like I could say life's meaningless, but I'm not going to. Why? Because agape love, because I like agape love. I like life. It's like a choice. It's like, I could be a nihilist. I could just say, oh, it's nothing matters. Or I could say, oh, fear and love are ultimately one, And I know that it's true, but it's still a choice. I can still say, yeah, but love, and it's like, it's just a feeling. I don't have to explain that, I don't have to rationalize that. And that's why it's kind of something in the essence of life, isn't it? It's like, why does a seed sprout, and then the one next to it doesn't? It's like, well, it's
like love is blind, right?
Yeah. How do you mean? Like, what's the?
It's like blind. It's like it's conditionless. It's unconditional, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So where you were going with it?
Yeah, I'm just riffing, man. I'll read some more
Yeah.
comments.
You mind if I riff off of that?
Oh, yeah, go, man.
All right. So going off what you're saying, let's say, this agape love is a frequency. We could even say it's kind of, I wouldn't say static, but you could take it to,
Swiss
eternal
string.
principles that one can just align to, and think of it, in regards to how this creation has been manifested through, sound, song, frequency, the logos, take it back to, the word of God type of thing. But, you could translate that into like sound wave, scalar, harmonic, frequency, vibration, right? And this is creation, manifestation, like use your imagination to visualize and actualize these things, right? So, and align to them. So think about, there's like this eternal song of creation, and one can, be aligned to that frequency, and that's really harmonious and all these things, and it can help one just be inspired, and just, these things are like a daily operation, kind of like, to a degree, sometimes with alchemy, and kind of just, all right, you wake up, rinse, repeat, and praise your ancestors, whatever, and just, creation on a whole and that kind of stuff. Get into that frequency vibe of gratefulness, and that kind of is coupled with this agape love. You are revering just your life and the things around you, appreciative for what you have, that kind of stuff. Even if you might be one of those have-nots, there's still time, brother, sister, for those things to come your way, right? We have to get that oscillating electromagnetic life force energy oscillating in the right directions, and electromagnetic, kind of the masculine, feminine aspects of things, right? And yeah, for men it's harder to do, but and it's not about getting in your fucking feels or whatever the fuck. It's about understanding how these energies work, and that you can magnetize what you need in your life without putting too much yang up in that thing, type of thing. Like yin yang, right? Yang is the masculine. I'm trying to, like, we don't need to be overbearing all the time and like force ourselves to get what we want, type of thing. We could use those arts of persuasion and proper conscious navigation. Like, let's say you're just like at a deli, you might be a dollar short or whatever, but you've just been like cool and like talking with people, whether they be in line or that and stuff, and like there's gonna be people almost like fighting over themselves to give you that dollar sometimes. Like, it's just ways to work your magic. And when you're in that frequency of love, and it's a wonderful thing. And we're all fucking in the matrix, walking in and out of this shit, right? And like that setting, let's say you're in a deli, you don't know these people, but guaranteed, the majority could be statist, they could be Jacksonated up and whatever the fuck, and support order followers, whatever, it doesn't matter. But in that fucking moment, you just go with the flow and treat them as a possible brother sister type of thing, right? So yeah, agape, it's kind of like having heart-based intelligence, love for truth, creation, justice, thriving, nature, the great mother, the all-father, evolution, think of that, love-evolution, love for redemption as well. Because, hey, we're all human. We all make mistakes. We can all get duped. We can all get caught up in some of the lies and share them with others, and spreading misinformation sometimes, and we want to correct ourselves. So we have to hold the door for people to make that happen, and for ourselves first and foremost, right? And we have to have love for discipline to do these things, love for learning, love for discovering, especially some of the unknown, because this is one of the classic hangups that humanity has of fear of the unknown and all this stuff, right? Well, sometimes we never know what we think it is unless we take that chance, right? And it's kind of like that initiatory step of doing, like the hero's journey, going in the underworld, the unknown type of thing as well, right? So it's also having love for courage, but these things need to be cultivated as well, right? As well as love for self, as well as discovering and finding your purpose, your dharma, right? You can have love for balancing out your karma, because we all have kind of accumulated some karmic debt in this life and some previous ones, right? Some people might be here to relearn those lessons, take it back to Mayats, right? Our hearts weren't as light as that feather. Whoa. Y'all know that allegory, right? And yeah, love for the well-being of ourselves and others. Extend it out to the animal kingdom as well, the minerals, the elements around us. Does that not astound us and make us revere and respect and want to have that in abundance? It's so simple sometimes, but we're, like, unfortunately, humanity has been so corrupted and brainwashed and monetarily motivated to just rape and pillage the earth for fucking shiny things and dollar bill signs and whatever the fuck, and that will never equates to any type of real fucking love. It's what is it? The classic phrase, money can't buy love, right? So at the end of this life, what's inside here in the heart space, that's what fucking matters the most. What we do here on the 3D level matters, in the physical domain amongst all this matter, things to consider. And don't be all, there's folks trying to escape the 5 fucking D and haven't really mastered 3D. So I don't know where the fuck y'all are going, but good luck with that. Anyways, and I got it, you guys got some, love for the universe and all that stuff. And, there's some new cage programmings behind some of those sentiments though. So, we go through the alchemical stages again and again, burn away the fucking falsehoods, right? That's the eternal flame burning within your heart as well. And having that compassion for yourself and for your proper human evolution to evolve and align more to the divine, right? We do it right here, right fucking now, in our earth vessels, right? We need to use this cosmic instrument as, that vessel for embodying and walking and talking the truth and evolving. Anyways, did I riff a little too much there?
It's good for me. Do you want to come in, Theo?
Yeah, sure. Evolving. Shout out to Chris Nelson, evolveconsciousness.org. He's not here today, obviously, but he's on the previous shows, so yeah, check out his content. I believe he also talked about that Agape Love a few times on his website, on his YouTube channel. Anyway, yeah, speaking of my art, like I was just thinking in my mind, like weighing your heart against a feather. It's like what does a feather symbolize except like lightness, which is the obvious one. Like where do feathers come from? Obviously from birds, right? And what do birds symbolize? They symbolize, again, lightness and flying, like freedom, right? Like right when you look at birds, like what do you think? The first thing that comes to your mind when you like look up is like you see birds flying and squeaking and tweeting and all that. It's like it's just you feel like, yeah, it's freedom. Like the birds always symbolize freedom in all the symbolism, right? The bird of there's the liberty and all that stuff. It's all related to birds, and also it's kind of like joy as well. Like when you see birds, it looks like they're always really happy and like and they're kind of creative as well, right? Like the way they're singing as well. It's always a marvel to listen to those jungle birds. Like here, I'm living beside the jungle, so I get to enjoy that, which is a special experience. To listen to all the different birds, the way they sing, and I guess it's kind of their mating calls, which is also related to creation as well, right? Like it's like kind of like why do all of us do art and do creative things? It's ultimately to create, but also to procreate as well, right? Which is again, it's like what life is about. Which, like I said, it goes back to again love, to agape love. So like that's what the universe is about. It's like it's kind of like that expansive, expanding, ever growing, ever evolving thing, and you can either tap into that or tap into the distortions and all the other things like Derek mentioned, and that can lead you probably back on that infinite, right, like infinite loop of like back to the middle of just to the center, to the dot in the circle, right? Which is, I guess, I think it's the agape love. That's the target, right?
0 point. Ganunda gap. Cosmic womb. Egg. Yeah. I got what you said. Nemo, go for it. That's all I wanted to throw.
Oh, you're muted.
Thanks. Yeah, one thing I really want to draw attention to is just the comments that we're getting in the show tonight. I mean, I'd really encourage people to have a look, because I mean, they're just kind of flying by, and there's like some really lovely things people are saying there. And I think this is the first show where the comments have just been like, whoa, it's kind of like kicking off in the comment section.
Yeah, shout out to the commenters. So seeing really good ones.
Yeah, and it's like I'm still getting used to all this, like trying to like respond to that as it happens. I don't know how it all works exactly, but but anyway, let's bring what is on the 5D here on the Earth. Okay.
Exactly. Yeah, well said.
Oh look! Wow, we're getting people.
Yeah, it's about anchoring the higher, frequencies and energies right here, right now, type of thing as well.
So hey, people. I mean, it's like I'm going to do the streamer thing. I'm going to say, "Hey, cancer is a lie." I know. Am I allowed to say that?
Clever.
Hi, Jared. Yeah, Jared's had some great commenting. Andrea, John, and Thomas. I'm not sure. Shout out to all these people. And we have, I think they've gone, but we had Jeffrey and Light Occult Revival. So I'm doing the shout out thing, which I've never done before. But shout out to our awesome comment, one of the best comment sections on the universe, yo. Sorry, silly, but I mean, silliness. This is the thing. I did a little video in the week to go on our chat, to sort of our Telegram group, which you're welcome to join, by the way, as a listener or as a human. But I did a little thing of just what I thought about Agape Love, and it was I realized as I was doing it, it's to do with all these things, like being silly. Yeah, that's a perfect kind of like, why be silly? It's like, well, because it's fun. Well, what's fun? It's like, well, this is where you're getting in the direction of Agape Love. It's like, it doesn't have to, it's not heavy, it's about the things that are enjoyable, like the things where your heart just goes, yep, I like that, I'm into that, let's do that thing, whatever it is.
Yeah, it's more like about not why, but why not. Right.
Sure. Yeah. Completely. Yeah. Why not?
Under morality, of course. Under the the envelope of morality, of course.
Right. Because then you're free. Do you know what I mean? It's like that's the thing that people don't understand. I think when you start talking about morality, they're like, oh, what rules and stuff. I think that's where the mind goes. It's like, no, you don't understand. It's like, this rule, so-called rule, about that you have to be moral. It's like, it's not that you have to be moral. It's just like, if you want to be free, then you have to be moral, then you can have freedom. And then with that freedom, everything becomes like a game and it's fun.
Right. We're basically saying like, yeah, let's all have fun and let's all say why not all day, but not harm each other at the same time, right? That's what we're saying. Because the dark occultists, all those motherfuckers, like they're saying why not, while harming us and controlling us and enslaving us and all that shit, right? That, like we talked about in dark care. So you can have dark care, which, yeah, that you can have dark love and all those things, which is, yeah, part of the distortions. And it's like, yeah, again, like I said before, I think it's just gonna lead you back to the same point. Like you're gonna, yeah, reincarnate again and again and again to learn the same lessons until until you get out of that loop. Which, I mean, yeah, this is already getting into more esoteric territory, which I mean, we can discuss it if you guys want to, but yeah, we're talking about the Agape Love, which is the opposite of that. It's about, yeah, first of all, understanding nature and its laws, right? So not just talking about gravity and all of those things. It's more like what you see, except for gravity, nature. It's, you see growing, you see green, and then the green becomes a red flower, and then the red flower becomes a brown seed, and then the brown seed becomes another green, and it goes on, and then there's evolution. Like you can someday maybe you see the red flower becomes a pink flower or stuff like that. Like, and by the way, I don't know if you can hear the rooster. He just woke up in the middle of the night here.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can see roosters and all those things. It's all part of nature. So you can love it or hate it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't care. It's gonna keep going. It's gonna keep creating. It's gonna keep doing what it's doing. So like, are you gonna tap into that flow, right? Like the universe is in a state of flow. Are you gonna flow with it? Are you gonna surf it? Or are you gonna just, smash into the waves and hurt yourself and like drown? Which is what the dark abilities are doing, and they're like building up a big tsunami, like, splashing it all over the clueless people out there, and we're like sending the we're like the lifeguards, giving everyone the, what's it called, the life, yeah, the floating thing that you sorry, my English is not the best, but yeah, the floaties thing that you can float up back to not drown anymore. So
Yeah, I
that's
can't
what.
think of the right word for it. Like a life raft would do, or whatever, for the analogy, I guess.
Right. So that's like what I'm trying to say is, we're people like us, like podcasts, like in Europa Natural Law, yeah, obviously Mark Passio and everyone basically on the One Great Work Network, and not just us, like basically everyone who is just a decent human being, who haven't succumbed to all the darkness and all that, yeah, all those distortions. So that's what we're just trying to convey to people. It's like, wake up and like, keep your eyes open, all the way. It's like be truly awakened, not woke and not broke and not all those things. Like, be whole, right? Like, yeah, like be holy, and like, yeah, what is one thing that is like holy in a way, like a ring in the sky? It's obviously either the moon or the sun, and the light of the sun is the light of the moon. So really, the moon light is also the sunlight, actually. So there's just the sunlight, and all life also comes from the sun. That's something I learned in Bok Saga, by the way, which is the most ancient mythology on the planet. And according to that mythology, um, everything comes from the sun. They call the sun Udin, like a ring, it's like Udin. And I really find it fascinating. Of course, I'm sure many of you know about like Odinism and all that stuff, like paganism. It's like one kind of those, yeah, native mythologies that's been stolen from us with all those darkness, all those distortions of the dark Christianity and all those things. It's like it's more like going back to nature. It's like saying, yeah, everything emanates from that sunlight. Like without sunlight, there's nothing. There's total darkness. There's nothing. So that's another way to see agape love. It's like it's everything, and you can again either tap into that. You can either sunbathe and enjoy the warmness of the sun, and feel the just feel the sunshine on your face and be happy. Or you can like be, oh, it's too hot, like I'm gonna shut myself down and put myself in a room in front of a computer with that false light, with the false blue light, and like watch some YouTube videos or watch some Netflix, which there's nothing wrong if you like to watch obviously YouTube video. That's what we're just streaming to. It's more like about appreciating what is. It's like going back to truth, like the love of truth. It's like not hiding from truth, not like trying to live in a fantasy world where I don't know what else I can add to that point.
I'll add to the point in the comment, because fear equals, it's a cool acronym for people to break the fear within themselves and expose it to others as well. It's like false evidence appearing real, right? John, thanks for that comment, for sure. And those are ways we can, ignite our inner sun to burn away these, falsities and false evidences of, things appearing real that, the dark occultists, they're, putting on all these, whack ass fucking magic shows and giving us these tragic blows to the head via mind control, right? And
the polytricks.
Yeah. They got more than just a bag of those things, and with hidden hands holding them, right? Yeah. Fuck, I wanted to go off more riffing off that, but like you brought up some the whole Bach Saga stuff and going back to Odin, the Allfather type of shit. Nemo, did you want to pop in? Did you have something you wanted to say, or kind of?
Sorry, I forgot to unmute myself. Could I just jump in on that, on the politics thing? Yeah, I just was thinking, it just sent me into this thing where it's like that the politics thing totally aligns with obviously the self-defense principle and non-aggression principle. Non-aggression aligns with the left-leaning. It's like, oh, I don't want to hurt anyone. We want to protect people. Or that kind of thing. Oh, we got to look after. We need to be looked after, and we need to look after others, kind of thing. It's like that's what the sort of emphasis. And then the right wing aligns with the self-defense principle. We need to look after ourselves. We need to defend against the what's scary out there. But both of these aspects, the feminine and the masculine, have it right at the heart of them, even though they're hideously abused. The way that they're kind of they're used as manipulation, but at the heart of it, what is in the heart of someone is actually born of agape in both of those cases. Whether you're wanting to help others or whether you're wanting to protect yourself or your family or your kind or whatever it is. That both of those forces are they couldn't really exist without this love. They're both aspects of love. So and that's how that's politics couldn't work if people didn't have that as a root within themselves. Because if people were just nihilists, they'd be like, well, so what? Like all the people that go and vote, they're like, oh, we've got to. That's like enthusiasm, It's like, oh, we've got to do this. That's why I'm going to go and vote. We got to change this, or we got to stop those guys doing something, because they're scary. It's all like whether it's protecting or wanting to go and sort of. I don't know if I'm making sense, but it's like, to me, there's something there about like. It's like the root of enthusiasm. Someone said, how can we experience agape? Jared was asking, you know, and it's like, well, how can we not? You know, I think because in the essence, it's like what we like, and even though it's twisted into negative forms, like for instance, Theo was talking about, maybe I'll just binge Netflix or something. Well, you know, I mean, it's just kind of paraphrasing what he was talking about. It's like there's a great time to not. I wouldn't recommend binging Netflix, but there's a great time to fucking zone out. You know, like there's room for that in life. But it's like, yeah, but that's not what people are doing when they're binging Netflix. You know, that's not a great time. It's like, it's a waste of life is what it really is. You know, it's a waste of energy and it's a waste of time and attention. That's the fact of it, you know. I mean, the way people will talk about like content that I recommend to them, that, you know, when I say, oh yeah, it's a bit long, you know, it's like this one's 7 hours. And they're like, oh, well, I should just turn away. I'm not watching something that's 7 hours, you know. And yet they'll watch Game of Thrones, which is 50 hours, you know, or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, what the hell are you talking about? You know, what are you doing with your time and attention, man? What was so great about that? Was it really, did you learn a lot? You know, did you improve your, you know, or were you just zoning out? And is that good at zoning out? You know, wouldn't you be better like sitting and meditating or, you know, studying, whatever it is, you know? And of course, we're in this world of distractions, but the point being that like, it's enthusiasm or kind of, yeah, it's like, it's why you make choices. But sometimes it's kind of like twisted and it goes a dark way or a way that doesn't create value, you know, and then you can go in a different direction.
Yeah. That's a great point, Nemo. And it's kind of like adding to what I was trying to say with like binging Netflix, those kind of things. It's kind of like succumbing to that dark hair of the controllers of the world, of people with the dark hair, with the dark love, the satanic love in a way. I don't even really want to say. I feel dirty just applying the word love to what those people are doing. It's just like worship of the ego, really. That's the only more like proper way to term it. What they're doing, and they're worshiping their ego in such a insane, like out of control manner that they want everyone to worship their ego in a sidewards way. In the, how to say it? It's like sorry about that. It's like trying to make my point again. So those, you know, people who are running all those, you know, Netflix, those companies, like all those companies, like I saw one of those like, you know, meme type of images where all the companies actually go back to just a few companies, and those few companies can even go back to just a few entities or something like that, a few families. That's been generational wealth, basically. Not that true wealth, but that false wealth of like stolen whatever. So their ego worship is so out of control that they feel like their trillions and trillions of their fake currency is not enough. Like they want another gazillions of their fake currency or their gold or whatever the fuck they think is wealth. And it's so out of control that they'll take everyone with them to this fetishism of themselves party, with all those TV stations and Netflix shows and all those dirty things where you're binging 50 hours of people brutalizing each other, doing all kinds of insane things that if your friend did 10% of whatever the people are doing in these TV shows, you would never want to see those people ever again, right? You would like, okay, you're crazy, like you're doing those things. And yet they will watch it on TV all day. They watch people killing each other, raping each other. I don't know what the fuck is going on TVs. I haven't watched like TV shows in many, many years now. But yeah, when I did watch TV, I know that there's a lot of insane things going on there, and I have a feeling it's only getting worse. So yeah, and it's all this like, yeah, it's like a few people writing a story and then people coming and faking themselves being characters. So you're watching people lying to you all day. When you watch TV, you're allowing people to lie to you. So you rather watch people lie to you for 50 hours than someone speaking the truth at last for 7 hours. It's like,
But yeah,
I
the
mean, you would rather,
entertainment, people are watching actors and all that stuff. Yeah. Yeah, I feel you.
right?
But yeah, I didn't want to cut you off. Were you finished, Theo? I just saw the
Yeah,
thing
pretty
go to me.
much. Yeah, you can go.
Okay. So yeah, going back to someone's comment of, what is it like, living, the expressions of agape? Well, look at the world and look at it through apophatic eyes as well. Do you see people, operating from their, heart-based intelligence, that agape within type of thing? No, you see people, having their time, focus, and attention and energy uh, pulled all these different ways, and there's all types of distractions in media, miasma, like you mentioned, for sure. Yeah. So, what is the end result? You have people in a state of fucking ignorance, right? And they're consuming some of those things that are leading to being kind of on a fear-based mindset, and there's, the mind control tactics of, scarcity-based mind control. That's huge. Of the fear of not having enough time, money, essentials, resources, and, all these things, right? There's a great Bob Tuskin, look him up. Free Your Mind Conference #2, I believe. So how do we break that fear again, right? And so, yeah, wanted to make a point of what you were talking about, Theo, in regards to, these people. It's not just about the fucking money motivation. These, the generational wealth and the bloodlines. They're quite in the. I mean, just look at the natural law expression of, how fear leads to disorder or chaos, right? These people are driven off of fear of not enough control, fear of not enough money, fear of, whatever the fuck, fear of death. That's a huge one, right? And that's what is
Yeah.
propelling some of these dark occults, cultist transhumanists, I believe, because they want to transfer their consciousness to a fucking some cybernetic shit, so they're not going to die all of a sudden, like they don't
Yeah, because
understand
they're
the proper
materialists.
fucking
They
actions
think,
of creation.
sorry, they think death is the end. They're not spiritualists. They don't believe in spirit.
Yeah, right. So bringing it back to, hey, like, are we really being all that silly? Going what Nima was talking about. It's really just kind of like that art of life, and having still some of that that childlike essence within some of your presence that has been gone through shadow work and that kind of stuff. You've done the inner work and all this stuff, and you're still curious of the creation of life and the wonders that nature brings and all these things, right? Having fun with language, being able to flip the script, ribbity dip and whatever the hell, right? Like and trying to make more sense of how liberty's been flipped on its head. Think of the inverted pentagram and how we're supposed to be quintessential beings, not with our heads up our fucking asses or in the ground, right? But upright with balanced within the elements of that this earth has: wind, water, fire, and air. And that air element, going back to Mayat and the scales and the intellect, that has to be grounded, if you will, in that heart-based intelligence in order for that to have that proper alignment and carrying out your daily assignments to to be living in that life of agape. And for me, like, I'll just speak from a little bit of experience of having that chakra explosive awakening of just more clarity of everything and understanding myself on a metaphysical level more, even though I initially didn't have right ways to articulate these things or even like understand them, although I've had like that understanding, but and just like having more abundant energy and drive and passion for wanting to make things right and live a good life, and those around you have a good quality of life as well. You know, I was married at the time, and so I just had so much love to give, and like, yeah, it felt like that unconditional love and yada yada. But gonna bring it back real quick because it really goes back to that love for truth, eternal principles, and just energetically aligned to them as well. It's not just, you know, things that we can read and learn about and like, okay, let's practice this and this and that. Yeah, that helps as well, and it needs to be implemented and integrated as well. But the love for truth, and this is what, you know, I see agape as hidden within that 4-letter word of love, with a lot of people's badges or emblems or slogans. You might see them on websites. One Great Work Network, you know, like Mario West, Love, Truth, and Beauty, which is counteracting the unholy trinity with Nemo's spiel, you know, with the madness, badness, and sadness, right? We're trying to flip the script on that with, you know, love, truth, and freedom. And that agape love is really the frequency we need to be operating from in order to effectuate that proper change and connect energy towards that movement, towards, you know, actual freedom aligned to natural law. And hey, that's a acronym for FUNL. There's a conference coming up on the 22nd, by the way. So yeah, in respects to nattylaw.com, we have not 3 words but 4, because we have a music aspect in that. But yeah, love, truth, and freedom. You know, it kind of can come off a little bit cliche, but if you've been a student of the occult and gone through esoteric information and all these things, and they correlate on so many different levels on a multidimensional degree, right? Then it's more profound, and it has more depth and value and meaning, I guess, you know. So, and that's, you know, things that we can just expand on when they see, you know, someone wearing, you know, a Natty Law t-shirt type of thing, which you can buy on the website if you want. And, you know, just, you could strike up conversations with that in and of itself, for sure, you know. And like, to the uninitiated, right, get them on that level a little bit more and get them more curious, and, you know, spark a little flint on their campfire within their heart to, you know, light, you know, get something lit up within their passions to learn more about these things. Because once people get a taste of this, I don't know, there's something within them that would drive them to just really learn more and spend their time more on those things. And Netflix would be just a fucking afterthought, whatever the fuck, you know what I mean? So yeah, like, my daily grind is just, you know, I sleep on a couch right behind me. I roll out of bed. I come right here, pretty much, get some coffee brewing, whatever the fuck, catch up on some messages, and then continue the great fucking work, you know? Voila. It's a simple equation, and, you know, everyone has their own method to their way of manifesting these things. So, bon courage with your path work out there, I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah, I did I totally lost my train of thought. I was like, I got something to say, and then I put myself on the camera. I'm like, what is it? But one thing that I wanted to say was about FUNL, the FUNL conference. Let's talk about that for a minute, because that's absolutely an expression of Agape, driven by Agape Love, I would say. You know, obviously. So let's just because it's coming up. So let's mention. Do you want to just give a breakdown of the rough details, Derek, or Theo? But I'm assuming, Derek, you know more.
Yeah, sure. And yeah, this is quite driven and based on that Agape Love. No one is getting paid to do this. We're not motivated by money. We're motivated by educating people on proper principles and truths of the matter that are going to help them understand the world around them and within them as well. Take it to the law correspondence, always and forever. As above, so below. As within, so without. As the universe, so the soul. And you got your guitar right there? You ready to rock and roll? Or, yeah.
You gotta do a solo.
So yeah, we got around 14 presenters.
Cool.
we got, at the helm, there's the main three organizers, Will Keller, Leslie Powers, which is my lovely co-host on Dissolve the Divide, and partner of Chris Jansen, who I've spent some great quality time with them in person. This is the fourth conference, and it's titled Humanity Rising, Inspiring care to action. That care, that generative principle. So we're trying to generate more motivation for people with that inspiration to improve their lives and others. And we have to be a service to ourselves, to truth, and to others. That's that trifecta. You betcha. And Leslie's going to have a cool presentation regarding music, and she hit up Theo for a little musical morsel, which is going to be cool. And there's going to be some other musicians as well, including Joe Murray, Diesel Automatic, and even Conrad Rogos. That's going to be cool. Had him on Dissolve the Divide, as well as the majority of those people. And there's some tarot readers up in there and other folks that have other good services and great works. And so it's going to be a great event for 2 days on February 22nd and 23rd. Let it be heard. Want me to add another word?
Yeah, that's just the list of it. Yeah, it's gonna be many surprises, so tune in. Yeah, even for me, like there's gonna be more than just music for Leslie's presentation. There's gonna be. I just got the message that I have another thing on the show, so it's good to go.
Awesome.
Yeah, shout out Chris Jensen. He's the organizer, by the way, End Evil podcast. We're trying to end evil, guys. That's what it's all about. That's what Agape, I think, ultimately is about. It's about being in flow with the universe, right? It's about like the seed that from which all the other types of love may sprout. Even though you could also look at it in a way where, where Nemo, you mentioned that all loves are under Agape. I think all loves or all other forms of love should be alongside Agape, but also, obviously everything comes from creation itself. So it's kind of like, it's a way to philosophize it. But anyone else wants to go?
Hey, yeah, well, I was going to say, just to note that we've passed an hour, so let's kind of get towards rounding up. I mean, we could like reflect on some of the comments. Drea was just asking me to play one of my songs, but I'm not going to do that on the file. I could give it an excerpt or something, but maybe at the end.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, but I was going to say.
A great comment
Yes.
by Jen. Traumas being alchemized and transmuted as we continue to search and see our true nature. Yeah, that's a great one. Also applies to me personally with something I experienced recently.
Yeah.
So yeah, really great comments, guys. Like, good job.
Yeah, it's kind
Hope
of
to see
amazing.
you on the show.
Say again?
Yeah, hope to see some of you commenters on the show. Like, I mean, it's open for everyone.
Yeah, well, some of them have. I'm not sure why they're not here today, actually. Well, we know Drea had tech issues, but Jared, I don't know, he could have come on. But anyway, we're always open. Always open for business every Sunday, people. And this is the first time we've been late. So, yeah. Sorry about that to our regular viewers. Okay, so shall I sort of like round it up? How are we feeling? Want to chip in with a bit more?
Yeah, whatever's clever. I mean, I don't really have much else to say, but yeah, I'll let you riff one up, man. That'd be tight.
Theo, have you got anything more to check in?
Actually, okay. So we have to be wary of going back to what he was saying with the medium miasma and all that stuff, and like the occult sorcery of how they're flipping and inverting the art of persuasion and suggestion, so that they're coercing us and making us comply and be complicit to the madness and the badness and all this stuff. And they're doing it through this dark care, right? They're pulling at our heartstrings in so many different directions. We have to cut the fucking cord of those things, right? And reel it back into what is truly pure, and go through those transmutative processes. That's really gonna shine a light on and burn out and wash away the muck and the distortions, and it's going to really have us navigating from that pure heart center, and the heart being the compass that is going to be regulating on an intuitive level, not just the intellectual level, but the intuition and intellect is kind of like that intelligence, right? So we can generate better discernment and articulation for all these things, right? So it's we're in the midst of so much spiritual warfare, right? And our hearts are being tested beyond fucking belief. And so it is pertinent to alchemize these things, transmutes, and keep it as light as this. This actually weighs a pound, not a kilo, but 500 grams. What is your heart weigh up to this, right? And just because we feel the burden or we feel attacked and have to use self-defense doesn't mean that all of a sudden we're unworthy, right? We have cosmic jurisdiction to defend our bodily autonomy and sovereignty, right? And it seems like it's going to weigh on our souls if we don't act upon that proper divine masculine self-defense principle. To be honest, we have that higher self that's looking down upon us or looking through us if we have that properly anchored and integrated, right? And it might not be liking what it sees if we're just going to be passive towards transgressions upon our rights, right? The right to live life without being fucking harmed and violated upon, right? But unfortunately, how the Matrix is set up, right? It's we have to maneuver through this Matrix without getting so fucked up and fucking other people up as a result of that, or these unconscious subconscious projections as well. So once again, the inner work is so important for us to do, and it's something that it's never a one-off, and it could take even fucking lifetimes, right? So think of it more as a marathon, or being the farmer of planting seeds of consciousness that cultivates that that proper agape love, and like Mario West likes to say, opens your heart wider and wider and wider still. And that's all I got for you folks.
And keep it real. On the real.
I was tempted to run with that too. Go.
Nice. I like Tommy's thing here. I'll just put it on the screen again. It should be this default setting humans, and it actually is. That made me think. It's like look at a baby. Like what's a baby doing? It's just looking around, going, "Wow!" They're just like in a complete state of like appreciation. Sorry. I'm talking.
No schizo shit, but like God is always watching you. There kind of you brought that to my mind when you mentioned something there. It's like the universe is always watching you. You know what I mean? It's like, would you do that thing? Like, you mentioned like the higher self is always like watching you in a way. It's another way to look at it. It's like, It's like, think always when you, before you do something, think like, yeah, if you were on the movie screen like I am now in a way, and other people were like, would I just do something really silly and like embarrass myself, or would I, yeah, try my best to be a decent human being? So think like all the time, because it's actually all the time. Like, yeah, now I'm on the screen with, yeah, people watching me on the internet, but yeah, when I'm now when the stream is finished and I'm going to bed and whatever the fuck, and I wake up in the morning and yeah, there's no camera on me. There's still the camera of the universe on me. There's still my actions affecting other yeah, the actions of other people in a way. My actions affecting everyone else just by my energy that I'm, yeah, transmitting. It's like, you know, whether or not you tune into the radio station, it's playing, and some people are tuning in and they're being affected by it. So you're always transmitting energy, and just like the butterfly effect, your energy is always affecting other people. So in a way, God, or whatever you want to call it, is always watching you. You are always affecting the whole world all the time. It's a bit of a mind fuck to realize this, but yeah, it's true, I believe, or I don't believe. I pretty much know it to be true. So you just gotta do your best 24/7, 365. That's what it's
Fuck
about.
yeah, man.
Hvor mange er med her?
Det var bare også
Yo, what's up?
Alright.
Hey, hi.
Hi.
Hey, we're at a party. This is Sif.
Hello. Nice to meet you all.
Yeah, Sif just asked what I was doing. I said I was just gonna tune in and see if I could catch the outro of this live stream about you spoke about love. Am I correct? Is it over?
Yes, sir.
Are you done for
Agape.
tonight?
Mother lover.
Come on, what have you got for us, Oscar? Bring us some wisdom, bro.
What do we have? It's about love. It's about
You do the talking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Love. I
Hi,
don't know.
Sif.
I don't know if we got it. We're just. Love is important, something like that. I don't know.
You should tell about what you have.
Are you guys
spoken
tripping?
about.
We might be a bit drunk, but we're not tripping. We're just
Talk for yourself.
okay. True.
Yeah.
You're on the cannabis
Okay.
edible.
Yes, I am.
Okay. So,
Okay, guys. Well, we're
I guess
literally
if-
kind of wrapping up the show, so it's been great to have some gate crashes in at the last minute. But
perfect.
I think-
The party just started. Come on. Okay. Well, then have a good night, everyone. Yeah.
yeah.
Looking forward to
Cheers.
to
See you
the.
later. Right. Sorry about that.
It's all good.
Sorry about my friend. You know, he's sometimes a bit out of control. But yeah. So Oscar will be back next week with his regular spot, his new regular spot, turning up drunk at the last minute of the episode. Anyway, obviously, yes, music. Like you know, all the kind of enthusiastic things that we do, everything, cooking, whatever it is that we want to pay attention to. You know, if I think back to like when I was a kid, teenager, you know, and I was starting to learn to play guitar and stuff, it's like, what is that? You know, it's like, what is this weird, like, obsessive thing with like trying to get better at something? And it's you know, obviously there can be of course, it's like anything, there can be a negative aspect. It can become an ego thing. Oh, I want to impress everyone or something, you know, along those lines. But generally it's a I think even that ultimately you've got kind of behind that, it's like, well, why do you want to impress everyone? Well, it's because there's some desire there. Well, what's desire? You know, it's like I think everything kind of will fold back to Agape Love ultimately, which is kind of what I was saying initially about this. It aligns with evolution. It's like the spirit of creation, really, at the deepest level. Yes, so I've not done this, but I'm just going to sing a little bit for you. of a tune. This is my upcoming one of the songs from. This is an excerpt of the titular song from my forthcoming EP.
Awesome.
You can be an anarchist too. I'm just going to give you a little bit of that. This is totally unplanned, and I'm in an unusual key. But let's see if I can make this out. Oh, sorry, I'm in a funny key. Only a slave in his own mind would choose this route. You have the right to choose what's right with what you do. It's never too late to change your course, to speak the truth. If you love life and shine your light, it's up to you. You could be waiting here forever for someone else to speak the truth. But this ain't someone else's problem. You can be an anarchist too. So unpracticed, shocking, really.
That's cool though, man.
I'm playing it in a funny key with different keys. But there you go. Yeah, that's part of a little, really poorly executed excerpt from my new EP.
You can be an anarchist too.
Yeah, it's called You Can Be. It's going to be called You Can Be an Anarchist too. That's
Nice, man.
That's
No, that's nicer than nice. I'm not down with that 4-letter word.
So yeah, forthcoming. Just got to do a bit more work of that. Anyway, that's enough plugging. So remember the upcoming funnel. Remember that you can get on the Telegram group. The links in the description. And
Nemo, can I say one thing?
Sure.
To end it off for the
Say what?
special Valentine's episode.
Yeah, go. You're on.
Because I'll tie it in literally with things of string instruments, whether it be guitar, harp, or whatever, right? Been trying to verbalize this and find a cool articulation for part of my presentation about that I'm going to have in the funnel conference, actually. And it ties into what I mentioned earlier of, aligning to that eternal sound song frequency of creation manifestation, right? And you could take it metaphorically of us being an instrument and trying to, string our chords to that, if you will. You kind of like stringing the guitar, a harp or whatever, right? Spelled without the AARP, right? Harp, scalar, draconian tech, and all that, whatever the fucking heck, that we should be rage against the dying of the lights, because that inner sun shines so bright, and it's like so insulting to see humanity just fucking cause so much self-inflicted fucking suffering, right? Whether it be through some draconian control at the higher fucking levels, right? But going back to just staying aligned to the divine, and for all you lovers out there, using that agape love cultivated from within, right? You have love for yourself, so you have it to share with others, and you have a proper balance between the pillars of enlightenment, masculine, feminine, right? Electromagnetic, as I mentioned before. I want to liken this to a bow and arrow. And in context to Eros, love, I'm not talking about some Cupid shit, but think of you yourself being the archer with that fire of desire, take it to Sagittarius, and how that bow is going to travel when you shoot it properly. The arrow, it's, you know, the masculine aspect. You can take that to the intellect, swords, you know, the elemental correspondences with that. And also the fact that, you know, arrow is a phallic symbol. And the bow is the feminine. It's got that curve, half circle type of thing, right? And let's say the bow string is that sound song frequency, agape, love, truth, that the arrow pulled back hits that point with the feminine bow, and you're shooting your aim properly, accurately, righteously, right? And it's on fucking target with proper love and harmony and wanting things to be just right and flourishing in this reality for yourself, for others, for either your current love, the, you know, the potential love that all you hopeless romantics or hopeful romantics out there want to be rising in love, not just falling in love, right? So yeah, that's all I got for that good old heart piece, you know, to end it out. So yeah, much love out there, right? And respects to Levolution and all that shit, right? And you can check out, I have a really cool mix on my YouTube channel. It's in the live stream section titled Levolution. It's like a good 2-hour long mix, and it's really, really cool. And I tied in Will Keller's Science of Love. That's another great presentation to check out on Will Keller's channel or on that live stream that I featured as well. And voila. Let's do it for the proper heart-based intelligence, y'all. And yeah, thank you very much out there. Thank you for all the comments. Even Jeffrey, yeah, I see you, man. We'll speak sometime later, man. Let's try to hash something out. And yeah, peace out.
Yeah, check out the mix you mentioned, Levolution mix. It's really beautiful. I really love that mix. I think it's my favorite mix from you. And you have over 100. I listened to maybe at least 40 of your mixes, maybe 50.
Damn,
and it's my favorite, so you gotta check it out.
Appreciate it, brother. And yeah, Nemo, I appreciate that music. That was fucking awesome, man. Even if, you know, the sound and the internet and stuff was, yeah.
Sweet surprise,
man.
To
the finished product.
Thank you. Yeah, I just thought, oh, the guitar. Well, also, it's like, you know, it's like with this subject, you can't be intellectual. You know, it's like I'm going. Well, I want to pick up the guitar. You know, like that's what I would do if we were sitting around. If we were sitting around a fire or around a table, like just chilling out, I'd probably have a guitar in my hand. You know, it's kind of weird. And why is that? Well, that's Agape Love. It's because I like vibration. You know, like what Derek was talking about, tuning. It's about tuning ourselves. You know, same with food. All the choices we make, everything is about tuning, aligning. You know, and music's like a very refined version of that. Except in my little performance, which is a bit sketchy, but yeah. But yeah, you know, it's that's what it is. It's about alignment. That's what feels good, you know. That's what when you're creating, and you're like, yeah, that's it. You know, you're searching, and then you go, yeah, that's the thing. That's the right thing, and you know. And then even sometimes you know, but then it changes. You go, actually no, but it still was at that time. You know, so that's the nature of this feeling of enthusiasm. It doesn't have to be right or wrong. It's just right in that moment, kind of thing. Not to indicate that, you know, I'm talking about relativism. I'm saying that like a resonance, a moment of kind of resonance and like rightness, like say a joke, the way a joke can land in a certain situation, especially if it's like. If it's not a joke, it's just something that someone says in a context, and everyone is just like, it just lands with everyone gets it, and it's just like, oh my god, I can't believe how funny that is, and everyone is laughing. like crazy, you know, because of this one little thing, this one little interaction or something funny. And then like, say you tell that story to someone later and they're like, oh, right, yeah, great story. You know, they're not laughing because it wasn't for that moment. It was for the moment where everyone was in the same
There was
vibration
magic in that moment.
you know? Yeah, everyone was vibrating. Something in everyone is vibrating on a certain level. That's agape, you know. I'd say, you know, it's like everyone. That's when you actually feel it. You're like, whoa, we're all feeling the same thing at the same time, kind of thing. And the music has that potential as well, you know.
Yeah.
To do that, which other like words don't so much. I think, you know, words are a little bit more because they take you into your head, and whereas these more experiential things like music and I don't know, like more to do with the integrating the whole, I guess. Anyway, rambling on, but thanks everyone.
Yeah, brother. Like you
Going with
said,
the
we're
flow.
always fine tuning and all that good shit. Yeah, that's all.
Yeah. So thanks everyone, and thanks for people in the chat. It's been great, and thanks for being here. So next week, I believe we're going to be looking at if we're going to go back to the schedule that we were on. I think we're going to be talking about anarchy, another huge subject. Yeah, like they all are. So that was kind of leading
Keep it external.
Sorry.
Keep it external. Anarchy. Keep it external.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. So yeah, we'll be leading on from last week. We talked about statism. Anarchy is like the remedy, you know, or it's like it's the natural state, you know. It's nature.
Or antithesis of statism, if you will.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, exactly. It's the antithesis. So that's why we kind of lined it up. And then we thought, we'll just do this Valentine's special. So happy Valentine's Day, everyone. Have an agape-filled time. And every time you see a love heart, you can think, oh yeah, but what about the deeper kind of love? What about agape? Let me ponder on this. That's what I'd like you to do. That's my mission for you if you choose to accept it. Right. Okay. Thanks all. I don't think I need to say anything else. There's people saying stuff. I'm so in for that conversation, says Drea, for next week. That's so for anarchy. And Jen says, thank you. And thank you both. It's been real. And I'm going to see if I can now do the outro. So I'm Nima Jones reporting for Beauty, and I'll see you next time on Europa Natural Law.
Ciao, ciao.
Much agape, yo.
One life, one love. Tell me this, are you prepared to live? Energy that we exchange is imperative. Intricate, so simple. Life is the spirit and the body is the temple. One life, one love.